Deadpool is one of the most well-known Marvel characters, and so when Meta announced they were partnering with Marvel to make a Deadpool VR game, I was pretty excited. To me, just like with Batman last year, Deadpool seems like he would be quite a good fit for a VR game. And as you may have gathered by the fact that you're seeing this video right now with your eyeballs, I was lucky enough to get my hands on this game early thanks to Meta. And before you click away, no, this video is not sponsored. I have not been sent any V-Bucks by either Mark Zuckerberg or Bob Iger, okay? And my only goal for this video is to give you my honest first impressions of this game, and hopefully help you figure out if Deadpool VR is for you. Also, I'm going to keep this video as spoiler free as possible, so all the gameplay you are going to see is from the first 2 hours of the game. And if I do mention anything to do with story, I will let you know beforehand. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. First and foremost, I'm sure some of you might be worried about the game being censored, which is understandable. Deadpool VR has been made for Quest 3 and Quest 3S, and with a sizable portion of its user base being of, how do I put this nicely, a younger age, I think that's a fair concern to have. But you'll be happy to hear this game definitely doesn't hold back on the gore and the swearing.
Oh, I meant to pull off your shield, dude. Oh my god.
Marvel's Deadpool VR is rated M for mature, and Deadpool sounds, talks, and acts just as you'd expect him to. In fact, I don't even know if this video will make it past YouTube's AI without getting demonetized. I'm fairly certain I'm gonna have to censor some of this gameplay.
Oh my goodness, hello.
Go to sleep now.
Oh, can it get off, please? Can you, ew. There we go.
There was this moment where I used my swords to slice a guy in half at chest height, and I could see like all of his insides.
Oh my god. Holy crap, they actually have all the detail inside the body there. That's gonna get me in trouble on YouTube for sure.
And it genuinely shocked me, I wasn't expecting that. Deadpool is absolutely the merc with a mouth in this game, swearing and making references and jokes. And while there was a lot of cheesy jokes and dialogue, there were a number of times where the game genuinely made me laugh. So we've established that Deadpool VR captures the character perfectly with its humor and violence. But with a VR game, in my opinion, there's more to it. It's not just about controlling Deadpool, because when you put the headset on, you become him. And so the gameplay mechanics need to make me feel like I'm doing the actions that Deadpool would do. And I think the game does a pretty good job at this too. The intro sequence in particular to this game was so much fun, a big set piece, and it really felt like something Deadpool would do.
Whoa! This is awesome.
Oh, gonna puke.
Oh, that's nasty! Deadpool, please!
The gameplay consists of fast-paced combat with a fun combo system, where you use all of the weapons in your arsenal to creatively kill your enemies. You've got the classic Deadpool weapons, his pistols and katanas, but then he also has a grenade and a grapple gun, along with being able to jump and kick. You can then use all of these in different combinations, and the more creative the combination, the better you do in game, which I'll explain more in a little bit.
Whoa, cool.
If you've played the game Super Hot VR before, it kind of feels like that in a way, where you combo your attacks as you move from enemy to enemy, and when the enemies die, their guns fly up into the air, which you can then catch to carry on your combo. It's very satisfying, but also completely optional. While the aim of the game is to do these combos, there was a few times where I just could not be bothered.
Yeah, you're pretty cool. Bye. So are you. Bye. Idiot.
But yeah, like I said, I think the combat does a decent job of making me feel like Deadpool. It is fun, but I wouldn't go as far as saying it's amazing or perfect. Though I will admit, when you successfully land a good combo, it does give you a nice dopamine hit. Now, all of the things that I've mentioned so far, I was kind of expecting from this game, but as I played more, I found things in Deadpool VR that I wasn't expecting, and that actually surprised me. I was shocked to find there's a good deal of customization in this game. When you go back to the hub between missions, you can customize Deadpool, his guns, his sword, and his grenades. But this went a bit deeper than I expected. You see all these different Deadpool models you can pick from?
There's so many.
Well, I specifically call them models here because each model then has like 5 different skins that you can choose from. And yes, this also applies to the guns and swords too. So for example, you can change your pistols to these Western style revolvers, and then on top of that, there are like 5 different skins you can choose from for those revolvers. And for a single player VR game, that is way more customization than I was expecting. And this isn't just cosmetic, there is actually a good reason to buy these models. Because in the levels, there are doors that can only be opened by certain characters such as Lady Deadpool. So this adds to the replay value of the game because you want to find out what's behind the doors. Another thing that I really wasn't expecting was how many different hand gestures the devs made it that you can do. Using different button combinations on the controllers along with the position of your hands, you can make Deadpool really expressive.
So if I hold my hand like this with the trigger, it's a circle. But as I move it around, it does different things. So like, wait, oh, what's that one? Hang on. What's that? What was that one? What is that one? Oh, it's a heart.
Twitsted Pixel, the developers of this game, didn't have to put this in, but it's these extra features on top that means you can really embody playing Deadpool in VR. Because in other entertainment mediums, Deadpool does all of these hand gestures. Then the final thing I thought was really cool and worth mentioning was the way that they have tied in the gameplay's combo point scoring system into the story itself. And fair warning, this is where I'm going to get into some light spoiler territory, so skip to this time frame if you'd rather not hear anything story related. Basically, you get hired by Mojo, who in Marvel Comics hosts an intergalactic TV/streaming show, and he wants you to go and recruit people for his show. And while you're out doing that and going on missions, they are live streaming your missions to the galaxy to watch. And so in game, you have a viewer count and a chat. And the more fancy the kills you do, the more viewers you get, who then donate to you, which then allows you to buy upgrades. Deadpool is effectively a Twitch streamer in this game. It's also incredibly meta. As a VR content creator, I'm making a video for viewers where the main character is creating content for his viewers. It's very Inception-y and kind of funny.
Look at my chat. That's more chat than I normally have in my own streams.
Now, there are some things that I've noticed in the 2.5 hours I've played thus far that some people may not like. For example, all 3 levels I've played so far have been linear, with you going down the one set path that the game sets for you. Now, this didn't really bother me that much, as Deadpool is cracking jokes the whole time, and the places in which you fight as you move through the level do vary, which keeps the combat interesting. And in some situations, the levels themselves have interactability which goes into the combat.
Stay right there, black hole gun. Come into this. There you go.
But yeah, I know some people really don't like linear games, so that's why I'm mentioning it. Then, speaking of combat, another thing you may have noticed from the gameplay is that all of the enemies are very bullet spongy.
Just keep firing, it's fine.
Now, this is by design, as you're meant to be comboing enemies together and doing fancy kill combos, but I still wanted just to mention it just in case that's not your thing. But yeah, that's everything I've gathered from the 2.5 hours I've played thus far. The game is really fun and I've enjoyed my time playing it. So let's talk conclusions. From my first impression, do I think you should consider getting Marvel's Deadpool VR? I would say that depends. If I were to compare Deadpool VR to Meta's previous big game release, Batman Arkham Shadow, which in my opinion is one of the best VR games Meta has ever released, while being fun, Deadpool doesn't hit that mark. If you like Deadpool and Marvel, then this is a no-brainer buy. You will enjoy it. If you enjoy fast-paced action games like Super Hot VR and that sort of racking up combos gameplay, then I also think you'll really enjoy Deadpool VR. But if the things I've mentioned in the to be aware of section of this video made you go, then I'd advise you to perhaps check out some other content creators' videos reviewing the game. My go-to tends to be GamertagVR. He's always really honest in my opinion. Or here's another idea. Hear me out. You can watch me play it tomorrow live on my Twitch. Sorry, I know it's a shameless plug. Link will be in the description. I'd love to have you there. Come say hello and see how you feel about the game for yourself. Plus, it will be the ultimate meta-ness of me live streaming a game to my viewers while I play a game where he is live streaming himself to his viewers. That was a long sentence. Either way, I really appreciate you making it this far into my video. Hopefully you found it useful and maybe a little bit entertaining. Thank you again to Meta, Marvel, and Twitsted Pixel for letting me play this game early. Leave a like if you feel like it, and I will see you all in the stream or in the next one. Bye guys.